Friends, welcome to Biology Made Easy. We are discussing the origin of life, where in the previous video we have discussed different theories for origin of life. One is the theory of special creation, the second one is the theory of catastrophism, third one is the theory of panspermia, the fourth one, that is the theory of eternity of life, the fifth one, theory of spontaneous generation or abiogenesis, and the sixth one, theory of biogenesis. Now today in this video we'll discuss the seventh one, that is the seventh theory, that is known as the modern theory or chemical theory or naturalistic theory, or it is also known as Oparin-Haldane theory. So this theory is mainly based on the chemical origin of life. So listen very carefully because it is important for examination point of view. So this chemical origin of life has been proposed by A.I. Oparin of Russia and J.B.S. Haldane of England. So easily you can remember the names and the country. Simply you remember hero. That means Oparin of Russia and Haldane of England. So easily you can remember. So this is also very important for examination point of view. So just if you remember hero, then you can remember that Oparin belongs to Russia and Haldane belongs to England. So these are the two scientists who put forth that the life has been originated from chemicals. So what are the different steps they have discussed for the origin of life? Let us discuss one by one. So the first step in the chemical origin of life is the formation of simple chemicals. Now, when 4.5 billion years back, when the Earth originated, the temperature was around 4,000 to 8,000 degrees centigrade. It was so high that usually the different elements that were present on the crust of the Earth could not combine or could not form any bonds. But around 3.5 billion years back, when the temperature cooled down, then the different elements combined to form different simple compounds, inorganic compounds. And these inorganic compounds are usually, one is hydrogen, then nitrogen, ammonia, methane, carbon dioxide, and water vapor. These were the simple inorganic chemicals they were formed. And the energy for formation of all these things that came from the volcanic eruptions, then energy of sunlight as well as lightning. So during either the volcanic eruptions or sunlight or due to this lightning, the simple compounds like hydrogen, nitrogen, they all combine to form these simple inorganic compounds. And in this primitive atmosphere, there is no oxygen, so the atmosphere was completely reducing atmosphere. So this is the first step of the origin of life, the chemical origin of life. Now let us come to the second point. The second point is formation of simple organic molecules and we can call them as monomers. So these simple compounds which are formed in the first step, they gave rise to simple, these inorganic chemicals, molecules, they gave rise to organic molecules. And again, here the source of energy is again the sunlight and the different radiations and electrical discharges. They provided energy, and these different compounds, they combine together to give different compounds like sugars. And sugars are mostly ribose and deoxyribose. Then the fatty acids, glycerol, then the amino acids, purines. These are all organic compounds. Purines, pyrimidines, all these organic compounds are formed in the second step from these inorganic molecules. And again, the source is the light and electrical discharges. Now, when these organic chemical compounds are formed, side by side, there is also torrential rain. There's torrential rain. That means the heavy rain. Torrential rain. So, due to this rain, the water flowed down. And when water flowed down, it carried with it different types of salts and chemicals. And where this water and all these salts and chemicals will be retained, they are all settled in the ocean. Due to torrential rain. And it has been again observed that the primitive ocean, it contains compounds like, that is the ammonia, methane, then hydrogen cyanide, nitrites, carbides, then also the different types of other compounds like various gases also. These were present in the primitive ocean. Now, in this primitive ocean, when all these chemicals were present, it formed a hot soup of chemicals. And this soup was known as prebiotic soup. Or hot dilute soup by Haldane. So Haldane called it as the prebiotic soup or hot dilute soup. As you take the tomato soup or chicken soup or any other soup, hot and sour soup. So it is just a hot soup full of chemicals. Now from this name you guess, prebiotic soup. That means this soup, hot dilute soup or prebiotic soup, is the starting point of origin of life. It is the starting point of origin of life according to Haldane. So all these things that were formed in the sea hot dilute soup, which contains all chemicals, that is the starting point. And all these things that are present in this hot dilute soup or in the ocean, in the hot form that is present, these chemicals usually didn't undergo or they didn't underwent any degradation, because for degradation it requires oxygen, but the primitive atmosphere was reducing atmosphere, there is no oxygen, there is no life to consume them, to break them. So in the primitive stage there was no life and no oxygen. So because of the lack of these two things, the chemicals which are present in hot dilute soup, or you can tell in this ocean, they didn't, no degradation, and all these chemicals were accumulated in the ocean. But now one question comes. Whatever the Oparin and Haldane told about this origin of chemicals and the inorganic chemicals, they are converted to organic chemicals. This is only a theory. How can it be proved that actually these things have been formed? That evidence was given by Miller and Urey. So now to prove that actually these chemicals are formed, we have to study the experiment conducted by Stanley Miller and Harold Urey.